All right, the highlights from our live trading chat room at GreatStockPicks.com on Tuesday. I'm going to start with what was the best call of the day from me. It was a really, really nice trade. I want to start with that one because it's such a clear example of almost a perfect setup. It's almost textbook. You can see NTAP broke out today. Nice volume. How do we find it on intraday basis? Now, I would love to tell you that I had it on watch because it was near breakout, but I didn't. We were watching some other things. So going to an intraday chart, and this is the advantage of running scans. Okay, I wasn't watching NTAP, but then this is probably what it looked like, maybe even here, when we discovered, hey, NTAP just lighten up the high volume scanner, and it's lighten up the new highs ticker, right? So I'm not going to chase this, but what happens is then this lands on a chart so I can watch it, okay? And then you start to get this clean pullback. And when it started to look like this, I really had my eye on this rising 20-period moving average. I knew that was around 44.40. At the same time, I didn't want to call an entry at 44.40 in case it was a falling knife. I like to still call it on their way back up. So I put in this tail, and using a method I teach in chat, I called this at 44.55 with a stop at 44.35 down below this tail. So 20 cents risk. And from 44.55, look at this, all the way to 45.90. What is that, $1.35 in our favor on 20 cents risk. So super nice there. And as I teach our members, we scale out on the way up. This was a very, very nice trade. And the beauty of it is, waiting for a pullback, you still had a great trade, right? You got your entry right here, and you got this big move without having to chase this. Just think if you just decided I'm going to buy it right here because it's running, and then you're probably selling it down here, and then you watch and go, man, I was right to begin with. So it's important to maintain a level of patience when trading, and also be able to say to yourself when something looks like this, man, I wish I was in that, but I'm not. And then say I'll watch it for a setup, and then boom, you're in if you get a good setup. So that's very important. You never want to chase. And NTAP was very nice. I do want to talk about another one. Let's see. Whoops, I can't type. YOKU. And as I have a comment about this that I feel is a very good trading lesson, so I'm going to share it. YOKU. I tried to make a call when it looked like this, but by the time I got the call out, typed it into chat, and then I looked back at the chart, it had already hit the price that I liked and failed. I mean, it just happened that quickly. And as far as I know, only one member in chat was able to get in. No one else spoke up anyway, was able to get in on that call. It was a tight stop, but it quickly failed. And then Yoku went on to give one of my favorite setups, which would be over this candle. I'm not going to go into the reason for why it's one of my favorite setups, but so the actual call I made on Yoku was 24.95, the one that was actually tradable. It looked like this at the time. I was projecting it live to our room. 24.95, worst case stop 24.82. So a nice risk reward there. Look what happens. 5, 10, about 15, 20 minutes later, it's up here almost to 25.50. It's up 50 cents. Now this is nothing to brag about, but the reason I bring this up and I say it's a great trading lesson, one of our free trial members from today took a loss on this. And believe me, when I take a trade, I announce when I'm selling some, and then I sold some into this spike here. I didn't get any in the 25.40s off the table, but I did scale out into this pop. So I do announce that. And then near the end of the day, and this never did take out the stop, by the way. The stop was the low of the day. But somewhere down here, I think I had moved the stop on the rest of my trade to 25 even. So I'm not sure what this free trial member did, and I'm not taking a shot at anybody. I said in chat today, any mistake you can think of trading, I promise you, I've made that mistake, and I've made several that you probably never even thought of, okay? So I'm not sure where they got the entry, but somewhere around here, when Yoku put in this red candle, they typed out, well, I took a loss on Yoku, right? And I said, I'm not being mean, but I'm just talking about a trading lesson here. Anytime you take a trade and you get a 50-cent move in your favor, and you end up taking a loss on it. Now, again, if he sold it down here, I'm not sure how he lost on it still, unless he didn't take the entry that I called. Maybe he chased it up here. I never did. He logged out after that, so I never did find out exactly where his entry was. But assuming he took the entry around where I called it, There's the trading lesson. You never let something move 50 cents in your favor and then come down and then take a loss on the trade. You should always scale out, pay yourselves along the way. And I also want to mention, let's see, Lionsgate. This was a blunder of mine. It was on watch because it was very strong. I'll take today's candle out of it. It was on watch because of the very strong volume near breakout territory. Okay, and then so we had it on watch today, and then it gapped up, unfortunately. But I called it somewhere around here. I think 14. I don't have it in front of me. 1472, I think. Can't believe I can't find. Oh, there it is. 1472 with a 1460 stop. I think when it looked like this. So there it triggers, looking for this breakout to continue. Probably, well, in hindsight, obviously too early in the morning, and more proof that you can be right on the stock and the idea and still wrong on the timing and lose money. And the stop was 1460. So it was 12 cents risk, and about 10 minutes later, stops out. One of our members called it somewhere in here, and I did not see the post. It wasn't one of our All-Stars, so their font didn't stick out. Same color font as everybody else except for our All-Stars. Our All-Stars have a chime and a different colored font. And I didn't see that post, unfortunately. I also mentioned that it was basing below the high of the day here, and if it breaks this base, could break out. And then when it started to move up somewhere around wherever that was, right about here, before it broke the high of the day, I did type into chat, Lionsgate nearing the high of the day, could break if it does. And it did. It broke high of the day, it flagged, and then it took off and really closed at the highs of the day. So I know we had some people make money on that one. I managed to lose money on it on that first trade and didn't get back in it. Again, NTAP was my big one for the day. But let's see what else. And I try to do this, but I forget and it's time consuming. But I did take another couple screenshots here just to show Big. You see how his font is red, stands out. He's one of our chat room all-stars. He was in on that NTAP trade, and you can see he got $1.19 a share on the rest of his trade there. And R. Brown, another one of our all-stars. See how his font's different color. Everyone else is black. Plus 43 on MCP. Since alert, take more profits. I could probably do a whole video on R. Brown's calls. He's so steady, calling some great entries, and he's very good at bottom feeding and other ideas as well. And when I post these, it's not to say that the rest of our all-stars, we've got about 4 or 5, didn't make good calls too. Like I said, it's just time consuming, but just been amazing in there watching these all-stars. And plus, again, I had the NTAP call today. Tons that I could show you. I just haven't had time to go over it. I want to kind of wrap up my day, so I've got stuff to do. But really nice day. Hopefully, some of the comments about taking profits when you have them, not taking a loss once you have a nice gain. Hopefully that'll help somebody, especially a newer trader. And I'm not going to babble any further. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night.